turned into an air fryer.
I think we're ready to go. Would you like me to put the agenda up, or do you have it in front of you?
I have one. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Okay. Pursuant to Governor Baker's COVID-19 orders suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, General Laws, Chapter 30A, Section 18, imposing strict limitations on the number of people that may gather in one place. This meeting of the Wilmington Conservation Commission is being conducted via remote participation. No in-person attendance of members of the public will be permitted, but every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings in real time via technological means. Members of the public who would like to participate in the meeting via Zoom can do so by clicking on the published link. Members of the public who would like to listen to this meeting while in progress may also do so via telephone by dialing 1-646-558-8656 and enter meeting ID 839-5357-0486. Press pound and press pound again at the next voice prompt. Members of the public attending this meeting virtually will be allowed to make comments if they wish to do so during the portion of the hearing designated for public comment. By following the steps previously noted, then press *9 on their telephone keypad. This will notify the meeting host that the caller wishes to speak. In the event that despite our best efforts, we are not able to provide for real-time access, we will post a record of this meeting on the town's website as soon as we are able. So I'd like to call the meeting to order. It's 7:06. So let's go through the roll call now. Say here when I read your name, please. Vinny?
Here.
Laura?
Here.
Ron?
Here.
Alex?
Here.
Tom?
Yes, here.
And Don, myself, here. Are we, that's it now, right? We don't have Mike yet.
No mic.
Okay. So we'll proceed then to the first item on the agenda, which is a request for determination for 298 Shawshene Ave.
Yes, good evening to the commission. As you all know, my name is Jamie McGaldy. I'm the operations manager for the Wilmington DPW. Here tonight to talk a little bit about the reconstruction of the existing courts at the Shawshene Elementary School. The town has allotted funding through its FY21 revolving capital account for the design services to help prepare plans and specs for the reconstruction of the existing courts at the Shawshene Elementary School. The courts consist of some existing tennis courts and a basketball court. And the town is also contracted with Gale Associates to help permit this project. Gale specializes in athletic court design. As with any outdoor infrastructure in New England, paved surfaces also require maintenance. The courts at the school are an existing bituminous asphalt material that is painted with an acrylic paint coating. And the courts are usable. They're severely cracked, but they are usable now. So we're looking to kind of take the next step and reconstruct these courts. The courts themselves were last crack filled in FY14, and very shortly thereafter started to crack again. So simply re-crack filling these courts, I think, would be an inefficient, fruitless effort. You know, and we really consider this a maintenance project. It's a reconstruction of an existing asphalt surface that's already there. So really, if we didn't do this, we're just kind of prolonging the inevitable. We'll have to reconstruct the course at some point. Lastly, construction funding for this project is going to this coming town meeting in May for the FY22 capital plan. So if we're successful tonight, we'll be looking to get some construction funding at that town meeting to reconstruct these courts in FY22. So at this point, I'd like to turn it over to Gale Associates, who can help further describe this project.
Thank you, Jamie. Can you guys hear me okay?
I can't, Peter, yet.
All right, thank you. So as Jamie stated, my name is Peter Spanos. I'm with Gale Associates. I'm a civil engineer and project manager. And with me today is Colleen Fowler, another project engineer. And should I share my screen? Would that be okay?
Sure.
Okay. Can you see that?
Yep, we can see it.
Awesome. Awesome. So so as Jamie said, the project itself consists of the tennis courts and a basketball court, as it is shown here today. It's right adjacent to the playground and skate park, next along Shawsheen Avenue, next to the Shawsheen Elementary School. The project itself is the cracks have become worse and worse, and a total reconstruction it's getting about time for that. The plans themselves, if I can show you the existing conditions of the site. So currently, right now, these are the courts. Let me zoom in here just a little bit more. I just want to show you the contours of it. When they were originally constructed, they have some small insufficient area drains in the middle, and everything is kind of crowned off the sides and as a bowl toward the middle. That is not the proper way of constructing a tennis court. So in reconstructing this pavement in the same footprint, it would be our opportunity to make these courts sheet flow water as intended. The site picks up drainage, as you can see here, from existing 18-inch pipes. 24-inch pipes go underneath the skate park and discharge into the vegetated swale. It's as you can see here. It also receives several other inflows from other pipes in the area, and then at the end, it overflows through a 24-inch pipe across Shawsheen into the other residential area, and ultimately into some wetlands there. Okay, if I would show you the next plan here, this is basically just showing approximate area of disturbance. Again, the existing pavement is going to be pulverized in place, and then new pavement will be put on top. There'll be some new drainage installed as well. We'll be putting some erosion measures all down gradient to protect ourselves from introducing any sediment down to that vegetated drainage swale. We would be introducing construction entrances, and this is a material stockpile area. It's here put down notionally. At the end of the day, it's going to be field located during construction. So the proposed conditions, again, within the same footprint. There's going to be a different layout. Shawsheen wanted to have, or Wilmington wanted to have an additional basketball court. And so the tennis courts will be reduced from 3 to 2. And the basketball courts footprints will be increased from 1 to 2. Again, all within the same footprint. There's going to be a chain link fence separating the basketball side from the tennis court side. As far as grading it, this is our opportunity now to grade the tennis courts as intended. Tennis courts want to be, the preferred grading for a tennis court is to be side to side. Next optimal, or the next choice would be north to south direction. Since we have this opportunity here, we are going to grade it from side to side. Along the fence line, we are going to install an inline catch basin. it will look similar to this. If I could show you a JPEG, if you can see that correctly. So this will be an inline catch basin. It's built flush with the chain link fence. The tennis court is on that side to the left, and the basketball courts would be on the right side of this photo. It helps pick up all the perimeter drainage. Within this inline trench drain, there are some catch basins installed. They look similar to this. So basically, it's a little bit of a deeper sump, and there's an insert basket in it. It helps pick up debris, leaves, anything that people might leave on the tennis courts that may go and clog the drain lines eventually. It's part of maintenance. The way these trench drains work is they're really easy to maintain. These are HDPE covers. You have a little tool or screwdriver, and they pop out, and you can clean them. And then where the sumped catch basin insert is, that pops out as well. You pull the basket out, you clean it, and you go about your maintenance. From there, so it'll drain from the east-west direction, if you will, from both the basketball side and the tennis side. It'll get picked up by the trench drain that's bisecting the two courts. It'll get then follow a drain line and connect into the existing drainage system, and then follow its way around and discharge where the existing tennis courts discharge today into this area right here. Again, we are the limit of disturbance is within the same footprint. From the edge of this vegetated swale, if I was to take the kind of the tree line, if you will, there is approximately 150 feet of pavement within. If I were to draw a line from the nearest portion and go 50 feet out and expand it, there would be about 150 feet of pavement within that 50-foot radius. And if I were to expand it 100 feet from the edge of this tree line, it would be about 3,000 and 3,400 square feet of pavement that would be within that 100-foot radius. And I want to show again just a little bit more on the drainage of the courts. This is what it would look like in the profile view. Again, this is the chain link fence. It's bisecting the two sides, the two courts, and it's getting picked up by this drain. And then this is what the plane view looks, or the cross section looks. There's a deeper sump here. This is where the catch basin basket insert will be installed for ease of maintenance. That's pretty much the summary of it. If I can answer any questions, I'd be happy.
Thank you, Peter. Cameron or Valerie, do you have some comments?
Yeah, we just have two comments. The first would be I know you said the stockpile area is, going to be determined out in the field once the work starts, but
yes,
we just want
correct.
to get that as far away from that vegetated swale as possible. So ideally on the other back corner would be.
Yeah, this corner here by the construction entrance?
So the back, so it's on the top left, on the bottom right, ideally, away from it, towards the field.
Okay, we can definitely do that. Again, it's here as a placeholder. It's notional.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll always be, and it probably won't be that big anyway. It'll probably be a little bit smaller.
Okay, and the other one we have is in areas where stakes can be driven into the ground. So obviously not across the pavement. We'd want silt fences instead of the straw wattles. Obviously, you can't put the silt fence on top of the pavement, so straw wattles are okay there. But anywhere that stakes can be put in the ground, we'd like to see.
Okay. Yes, we are currently showing silt socks, not a straw, it's silt, so they can cut it open and leave it in place. But whatever the town prefers, if you guys prefer silt fence, whatever you guys want.
Okay. Yeah. So wherever, yeah, on over grass, over dirt, silt fence would be appropriate, but anywhere else can be the silt sock.
Okay. That's not a problem.
Cameron, can I just get some clarification on the stockpile location?
Yep.
I agree, moving it's probably in the best interest. Could we consider moving it just to the right of the screen rather than putting it on the other side of the tennis courts where the soccer fields are? I believe those fields are probably going to be in use during the summer and fall. So in other words, we can slide it directly to the right to get it away from that vegetated swale as much as possible, closer to the parking lot, if that's okay.
Yeah, that can work. That works.
Okay, thank you.
And
Thanks.
then-
Any comments from commissioners? Ron, start with you.
Thank you.
Alex,
No, no questions.
Vinny,
No.
Laura,
No questions.
Tom,
No questions, but I never like reducing the number of tennis courts. Right, Cameron?
That is
You gotta
true.
protect those courts.
hi, Mike. Do you have any questions?
No, but I want to counter Tom with saying one of them should be pickleball.
Oh, we have 6 brand new ones over there, don't we? At the town hall.
Yeah, there's 3 brand new ones. We actually went over that possibility with the rec department in the school department, and we've concluded that we're going to leave the ball courts at the town hall for now and keep this as tennis.
Okay, I have no comments as well. Valerie, are there any raised hands?
We do not currently have any raised hands. If you have a comment or question, you can raise your hand with the Zoom function, or if you are on the telephone, you can press *9. But we currently do not have any hands raised.
Okay. So seeing no hands and hearing no voices, I think we're ready to look for a motion to issue a negative, is it a -3
That's right.
determination for 298 Shawshene Ave tennis courts and basketball courts?
And Mr. Chairman, if I could maybe just suggest to the
Really?
commission, if we could put just the condition in there that the stockpile and the stockpile location and erosion controls be approved in the field by the conservation agent.
Okay. Anyone like to make that motion with Valerie's addition?
So moved.
Thanks, Ron. A second?
Second.
Vinny seconded the motion. To the vote, Vinny,
Yes.
Laura,
Yes.
thank you. Tom,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Alex,
Yes.
and I vote yes as well. So we're all set.
This is Ron. I'll also vote yes.
Did I get you, Ron? I didn't.
I
Oh,
made
did
the motion, but I had to vote on it too.
Okay, yes. Sorry, I missed you there.
It's okay.
And you vote yes as well, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, great. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.
Certainly.
Thanks, Jamie.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Right.
The next item on the agenda is continued public hearing for Shady Drive.
The applicant is requested to continue to the May 7th meeting.
Okay. What is the date?
May 7th?
May 5th.
Okay. So I'm looking for a motion to continue Shady Lane Drive for till the May 5th meeting.
So moved.
Thanks, Ron. A second?
Second.
Vinny, thank you for the second. Voting, I'm going to go for Ron first this time to make up for my miscue.
Yes.
Okay, thanks. Vinny,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Laura,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Alex,
Yes.
and I vote yes as well. So that carries unanimously. The next item on the agenda is a continued public hearing for a notice of intent for 687 Main Street.
The applicant is also requested to continue to the May 5th meeting.
Can you give us an idea of what might be holding them up?
We haven't heard from them, so we're not quite sure. I know they were working on some plan changes, but we haven't heard exactly what the delay is.
They also have to apply for some permits as well. don't they?
Yeah, they need to apply for their special permit for groundwater.
Uh-huh. Do you happen to know if they have?
I don't believe so.
Okay. Is that sort of a yellow flag?
Could be.
Right. I know they've been a little balky before. All right, so.
We'll
could
check
I
in
ha-
with them.
All right, great. So could I have a motion to continue the public hearing for the notice of intent for 687 Main Street to the May 5th meeting, please?
So moved.
Thank you, Ron. A second, please.
Second. Go ahead.
Thank you, Vinny. To the vote, Ron,
Yes.
Yes.
Vinny,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Laura,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Alex,
Yes.
and I vote yes as well. So we're all set on that. The next item on the agenda is a continued public hearing for an Anrad for 6 Tobin Drive.
The applicant is requesting to continue to the May 5th.
Okay. So could I have a motion to continue the public hearing for the Anrad for 6 Tobin Drive till May 5th?
So moved.
Thanks, Ron. Second?
Second.
Thank you, Mike. To the vote, Vinny,
Yes.
Laura,
Yes.
Ron,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Alex,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
I vote yes as well. So that also passes unanimously. The next item is a continued public hearing for the Anrad for 71 and 73 Marion Street.
The applicant is requesting to continue to the May 5th meeting. We got that request in earlier today.
Okay, thank you.
Just, Mr. Chairman, to add to that, they did, the peer reviewer did go out to the site. Cameron, was that yesterday?
It was.
Okay, so we were out there yesterday, and they peer reviewed the line with the applicant's scientist. So that review has been done, and the results of that are going to come back to the commission in a report.
Okay. I noticed from the paperwork received that they did expand the scope of their delineation.
To
Which
include
was-
the riverfront, yeah.
That's right, yeah. Which seemed to be, when I looked at the minutes, it seemed to be something that they wanted to defer, but then ultimately decided to go ahead on.
Yeah, this will include the BVW and the riverfront.
Okay, thanks.
Yep.
So could I have a motion then to continue the public hearing for the Anrad for 7173 Marion Street to the May 5th meeting?
So moved.
Thank you, Ron. A second?
Why, may I say so? Why did a
Yes, certainly.
telephone symbol come on the screen? Somebody's trying to get in?
I'm sorry, I'm not sure I heard that.
Is somebody trying to make a phone call? There was a telephone symbol on my screen.
Oh,
I think that's just a caller that's called in. So that's how they're listening.
That's not it.
so there's no raised hand.
No, raised hand, no.
Okay.
For the continuations, I've been sort of zipping by without soliciting any public comment simply because we're going to continue it.
Yeah, no, that's appropriate. We would want to talk about it without the
Yeah.
applicant here.
Okay, so we had Ron, if I remember correctly, made the motion. Vinny, you seconded it? No, you did. You did second it. Okay, good. To the vote, then Alex,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Ron,
Yes.
Laura,
Yes.
Vinny,
Yes.
and myself, I vote yes as well. Okay, we're down to the request for a certificate of compliance for 900 Salem Street.
Yep. So I went out to Benevento last Thursday and to check if there was any work done, and there was no work done. So they are all set.
Okay. So could I have a motion to issue the certificate of compliance for 900 Salem Street, pardon me, map R1 parcel 28?
So moved.
Thank you, Ron. Second? Did you say second, Vinny?
Second.
Thank you. To the vote then, Alex?
Yes. Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Ron?
Yes.
Laura?
Yes.
Vinny?
Oh, yes.
Thank you. And I vote yes as well.
Alex, you're a yes, right?
Did I skip Alex?
Vinny speaks for me. That's fine.
Having trouble with the grid tonight here. So we're down to the administrative tree or shrub removal. Cameron, what do you say about 26 North?
Yeah, they had 3 trees that were pretty close to the house, that were leaning towards the house, and they all had something in them. They had some type of fungal disease, and they were pretty hollow on the bottom. So it was definitely a good call to get a tree company out there and get them down as soon as possible.
Okay, how about towpath, 27 towpath?
And towpath. Oh, that was towpath. I'm sorry, I mixed them up. That was towpath. For North Street, a large pine tree fell in the backyard and took out another pine tree. And there are also 3 other dead trees on the other side of the lot that need to be taken down as well.
And if I remember correctly, in your report, they were dead, so no replacements are,
Correct, for neither property.
yeah, okay, good. We have a couple of violations I see. Do you want to say something about 66 Lawrence Street?
Yeah, so on the, well, we got a call about some work being done in the backyard. So I went out and saw that the backyard had its topsoil removed. And then when I talked to the tenants of the property, they said that they were bringing in soil to level out the backyard. And all of this was done inside the 100-foot buffer zone. 2 BBWs, and it looked like it could potentially have been pushed into the wetlands. It was pretty close. It was kind of a mess back there, so couldn't really tell. But then later and then I told them to stop because when I went there, they were about probably 75% done, and I told them they need to stop. And then I went back out to check the erosion control, and they told me that they had finished the work after I said they needed to stop. That is about it. But they did install erosion control, which was good, but nonetheless.
Are they by any chance here tonight?
I believe the tenant is.
Okay,
The counsel for the property owner is also here.
okay. Can we have your remarks, please, if you have any?
Yeah, Attorney Phil Taylor, I represent the trust that owns the property. It's my understanding that the tenant, who is also participating at the meeting, was doing what she understood to be some landscaping work that was permitted. So I don't think there was a real intent to violate things. One thing I would note that was commented about after when she said that they completed the work, during the interim, she actually contacted the town hall and ended up speaking to the building department. And she ended up, and she was told by by Kelly Malatesta by email that she's allowed to replace soil without a permit, providing you're not filling in any wetlands. And I don't believe she believed that she was filling in any wetlands, and that's why the work continued. And my understanding is then eventually at some later on, a letter was sent to I think the property owner eventually, which dated March 24th, putting the notice of the violation. While I think without needing to really get into details, I think there may be some disagreements as to the scope of work that was done. I believe Mr. Lynch took some pictures. I don't know if he has them to share so I can see what he saw at the time. However, what is being done now is reached out to contact a wetland scientist in order to delineate the wetlands and also to assist Ms. DiTomaso with putting together, I believe it's going to be a request for a determination of applicability is what I believe might be done. She actually been put in touch with Norse Environmental. I spoke with Marion over there earlier. I was only able to connect with someone, find someone. Actually, it was today I was able to connect with them, so I was hoping to find someone earlier.
Okay. So you're basically taking the steps that were outlined in the letter.
Yeah, with the
good.
Looks like if it's within the 100 feet, and I think when I spoke to Maureen, I guess there might be a question as to whether or not whether the work was being exempt or not.
Okay, so we'll expect a filing of a RDA then in the future.
Yes, I believe, I let them know that I guess it was requested to be by April 21st. I presume if there's any issues with Norse's timeline or I presume someone will be in touch with Cameron to let them know if their work is somewhat delayed to need to file it at a later date. But I believe they want to get the tenant, I believe, wants to get it moving along too.
Okay. Thanks. Anything else on that, Cameron or Valerie? We all set, right?
Just to add, the tenant also wants to put in a fence around the back of the property. We've been kind of gone back and forth of what they actually want, but if they want to put a fence solid to the ground, I told them that they're going to have to file, and they also want to do a small patio, which they would also have to file for that. So should they put those all on one RDA?
Mhm.
All on this next coming RDA, just included in one instead of 3 separate?
Yes.
Okay.
And I believe she decided to put the fence above, I don't know if it's 4 to 6 inches above to not be a barrier. And I'm not sure the patio, she'll probably, I'm not sure what material she's looking to make that out of, whether it's going to be impervious or not. But there was something existing there, which I think is where she's, I think it may be referring as replacing a patio that was there.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks. We also have another notice of violation.
Yes.
And you can tell me where it is because I just misplaced the agenda.
5 Oxbow Drive.
Yep. Okay. So what was going on there?
The owner cut down a few dead trees that were inside the 100-foot buffer and possibly within. So we're going to have him file an after the fact, and I believe. Oh. Need to ratify the first notice of violation, Dawn.
Okay.
Yeah, Don, I think if you guys want to vote just to
Sure.
ratify that NOV for Lawrence Street and then again for Oxbow when you're finished with that one.
Okay. Is anything else? Well, let's. We'll do the ratifying of the 66 Lawrence Street first. Could I have a motion to ratify the notice of violation for 66 Lawrence Street, please? I heard somebody say so moved. Who was
Mike.
it? Mike, thank you. A second, please.
Second.
Vinny, thank you. To the vote, Vinny? How do you
Yes.
vote? Mike,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Ron,
Yes.
Laura,
Yes.
Alex,
Yes.
and myself, yes. All right. And now we're on to 5 Oxbow.
Okay. So 5 Oxbow, there's a few dead trees removed and one a live tree within the 100-foot buffer zone. So he's going to have to file an after the fact RDA and get the wetlands delineated.
Okay.
Why would they have to do that? The tree fell down, they cut it, they got rid of it. Yeah, what's the big deal?
Because because the number of trees that require an administrative approval is lower than the amount that we're taking down. And he also wants to include another tree that hasn't been cut down as a tree. So the total number would be too much for just a simple administrative.
Gotcha.
I see people at the bottom that are still hanging on. Anybody want to talk about this one?
Yeah, the homeowner is here, if he'd like to say.
Is there anything you'd like to say, or?
I think he might be frozen. I think he's frozen.
Okay. Got the yellow box there.
Yeah, I think he's trying to talk, but it's just not coming through.
I'm going to ask him if he could maybe just put something in the chat.
Can he disconnect and reconnect?
Please. Good evening, everybody. Joseph Lavrado, Drive. I speak with
You're not coming through audibly.
Try turning the video off and just having it run on sound. That helps sometimes.
using my son's computer.
Okay.
I could ask him to call in.
Yeah, that
might be the thing to do.
I'll give him the phone number. You guys could look at the discussion items maybe in the meantime if you'd like to. Those are just kind of FYIs.
Okay.
Wi-Fi good.
There, I found the agenda too.
Turn the video off. And if you share screen, okay, your video is on.
Yeah. If you hit, if I hit share.
The post that they stop call and they want you to share your video. So call it. It says the host won't let you.
What's the number?
Hold your phone on.
No, I don't know the number.
Okay, hold on. There we go.
What's really strange is that they're on mute, but we can still hear them. Now we can't. Okay. I gave him the phone number and asked if he wanted to put anything into the chat.
I see something in the chat, right? Maybe that was just Kathy.
Yeah, that was Kathy.
But Cameron, you had talked to the homeowner.
Oh, this might be him. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Mr. Lavarato.
Lavrado.
Hi.
Yes.
Okay, we can hear you pretty well now.
Okay. Sorry for the confusion.
Not a problem. Is there anything that you'd like to talk about?
Yeah, I had. Yes, please.
Sure.
Well, I had spoken to Cameron last week, and then I read the website as far as the submission dates and times for everything. But long story short, like I explained to him, and he was very professional as far as explaining it to me to explain to you guys. There's 3 trees in a row, and the first one basically, there was a windstorm in early March, where the first one kind of collapsed onto the second one, which fell into the third one. So it was kind of like a widowmaker thing. Because they were hung up on each other, I took them down. They laid on the ground for a while. I eventually got rid of them, chopped them up. Immediately after that, I called a couple tree companies and got estimates because I didn't know how bad it was in my backyard as far as dead trees. I have some trees that are kind of perilous now. And it's like, my wife and I not crazy about, letting the kids back there. And it's basically something's going to happen in the future. So that's when I elaborated about, there was another tree I wanted to cut down. So, long story short, I didn't build anything. I didn't move any soil. The trees sort of collapsed upon themselves. I sort of was like, there was a situation, I took care of it. Like I said, if I can figure it out on Zoom, I basically drew up a diagram of how it went. Plus, I have the town plot plan for the land. And the plot plan basically just says that area of my property has a high water table. I don't know about my neighbor's property, if that's wetland, because I border analog devices. But it's basically what I explained to him. It's a situation where I think any homeowner would have done the same thing. I basically, you can't unring the bell as far as, the 2 of the trees were dead, and I took pictures of the stumps. The stumps are still there. Like I said, if I was trying to be mischievous or deceitful, I could have circumvented some, try to hide it or something. I didn't. It's just, it happened, and I can't really, like I said, I can't really undo it.
I guess I need to ask you we're asking you to, if you intend to take more trees down, to file a request to do that work in the buffer zone.
I definitely would. Like I said,
Okay.
I'm unaware of this buffer zone because all I know is, and I could take pictures of the tree, the bark has fallen off, woodpeckers are going after it. So it must be pretty diseased or dying or dead. It's actually dead because the estimates that I got, they signified on the estimates that it was they all signified it as a large dead oak. Mm-hmm. But it's 24, that tree is only 24 feet from my house, and it's very large. And pretty much every estimate I got said they would want to bring a crane in because it's proximity to the house and that it's dangerous as far as falling down and whatnot.
Okay, so you intend to go ahead and do some more work.
In the future, yes.
Yeah, so you'll file the request, and you'll simply say that you've already taken some trees down, right?
I only took the one that
that'll
fell
cover
down
what you've done.
Windstorm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
There's one, like I said, my concern is there's one tree that's, like I said, it's 24 feet from my house. I didn't know how bad it was till this windstorm kind of gave me the wake up call about how bad my tree situation is. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Mr. Lynch had told me as far as the future to put in an application to, if I wanted to remove this future tree.
Okay. Anything else or?
No, that's it. Like I said, that's basically all.
Good. Well, thanks.
So Mr. Chairman, just to clarify, you'd like him to file an after the fact application for the trees that were taken down and for the tree that he'd like to take down?
Yes, that's what I believe I said that.
Okay, great.
Yeah, when, I guess, yes, that's correct.
Okay, and I
Okay.
can just basically go through Mr. Lynch as
Yeah,
far as the guidance
Sure.
for the process of doing that.
yeah, I'll help you out with
Absolutely.
it. I'll send you some more paperwork tomorrow.
Okay, that sounds awesome.
Good, thanks again.
Oh, thank you so much.
So could I have a motion to ratify the notice of violation for 5 Oxbow Drive?
So moved.
Thank you, Ron. Second?
Second.
Thanks, Mike. Vote, Vinny, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ron?
Yes.
Laura?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Alex?
Yes.
I vote yes as well. Okay, so we do have a few discussion items. Who would like to tee those up for us?
Mr. Chairman, those are just really reminders. The Massachusetts Association of Conservation Commissions is having their annual conference. If you'd like to sign up for any of those sessions, the town will pay for that. So be in touch with us and we'll get you signed up if you're interested. The vegetation management plan for Keolis was included in the packet for your review. We can put that on a future agenda if you'd like to discuss it. And the conflict of interest course, I believe we've gotten everything back. Kathy can maybe speak to that. And that's all we have.
Okay,
And yes, we should be all set on the conflict of interest.
good. So has everyone had a chance to look at the meeting minutes for March?
Yes.
And it appears that everyone was there, so everyone can vote on it. I noticed just a small omission of something on page 2, the third paragraph. The sentence, by law, the town cannot use town funds to, the third sentence, sorry, the one above it. Advise that the fees taken in are used to fund resource conservation and conservation efforts in town. So there's a missing TO.
John, I'm sorry, what paragraph? Because I can barely hear you.
Oh, okay, it's the third paragraph
Yeah,
on page 2.
got it.
And it's the third line. Fees taken in are used to fund resource
Gotcha.
conservation.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. That was it for me.
Okay.
Any other comments? Corrections? Nope. Okay. Everyone ready to vote on the minutes? Yeah. All right, could I have a motion to approve the meeting minutes for the March 3rd, 2021 commission meeting?
So moved.
Thanks, Ron. Second?
Second.
Thank you, Vinny. To the vote, Alex,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Laura,
Yes.
Ron,
Yes.
Vinny,
Yes.
and I vote yes as well. So those are approved. I understand, Tom, this is your last meeting, so thanks for being here.
It's my last meeting with this august group. I believe there'll be many meetings ahead in my life, but I appreciated getting to know you folks and wish you the best for the rest of the year and onward, making Wilmington safe for our wetlands. We like that.
Thanks again for being with us, Tom.
Thanks, Tom.
Thanks, everybody.
I'm going to put August on my resume.
Unless you want to hear the rest of the clock.
No, that's always.
Hang on a sec.
And I do appreciate you having the two shortest meetings as my last two.
Just for you, Tom.
Thank you very much.
Wow, a lot of noise here.
Bye also to Laura's dog.
So I'll accept a motion to adjourn the meeting then. It's 7:59, a nice time.
So moved again.
Mike, thank you. A second.
Second.
Vinny, thank you. Alex, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Laura,
Yes.
Ron,
Yes.
Vinny,
Yes.
myself, yes as well. Good night, all. See you next month.
Thank you.
Good night.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye now.
Good night.
Tom,